Okay, now
Fingers crossed.
let's move to connections. How did you think of that concept? Who thought of the concept?
I did not think of connections. Connections was pitched internally by some of my amazing colleagues. Basically, what happened was like in 2021, the Times acquired Wordle, and then there was like this pivot towards new games, and so like they brought on this like amazing new games team, and then they created these sort of like pipelines for pitching and developing new games and like a green light process and all that. And so Connections was pitched and like developed internally. And then when it got to the stage where they wanted to like release a 60-day public beta trial, they needed an editor to write those 60 boards. And so at the time, I was the only editor that like didn't have a game. And they were like, Wyna, do you want to try writing this game? And I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. So I was assigned Connections after it had already been like developed and stuff. So I got really, really lucky.
Okay, I think of sometimes how daunting your job is. I compare it to back when I was in this sketch comedy theater, and we had a new show every single Sunday, and there had to be 25 sketches in it. And it's just like it never ended, and you kind of run out of inspiration. And anyone that was around me in that period, I would be at lunch and someone would put a napkin down weird on the table as a waiter, and I'd be like, oh, there's a sketch. What if the person always puts things down? So are you kind of crazy? Are you like, to be around you, are you like looking around you constantly trying to feed that inferno of like what? Yeah. Like, what's your process for it?
Extremely relatable what we said about the napkin. I'm taking notes now. It's like napkin funny. So look out for that. No, I feel like, it's in the beginning, I feel like people are like, oh, is it kind of like ideas kind of come to you? And maybe in the beginning a little bit, but not for a while. I feel like after, it's been like a couple years, and I feel like
you couldn't rely on, to be inspired from the clouds and do 7 puzzles a week. Yeah,
I wish. Yeah. So it is a little bit more of a grind. So it's like you sit down, you go, I'm going to just look at some words, I'm going to Google a list of flowers or like a list of parts of a ship or like, I don't know, how about some fish or whatever, and then you like look at words, or sometimes, you have a seed of an idea. There's like, I was thinking about the other day, it was like, there's a lot of free associating. So I was thinking of like computer stuff, and there was like, storage drives. So there's like thumb drive, a zip drive, a flash drive. I was like, oh, like those words like are like kind of interesting. Thumb, zip, flash together. And so I kind of like, I work in a spreadsheet. So like as like a digital sketchpad, so I can kind of click and drag words around. Ooh. And so I was like trying to make a category of that. But then I was like, oh, like thumb drive and zip and like flash drive are sort of the same thing. So maybe it's better as like a fake category, and you kind of click them around and you try to see if there are other...
The fake categories really piss me off.
Well, that's the fun of the game.
God, you get me. Sometimes you really get me.
Yeah. Congrats. The times I've been mad at you, to be honest, have been solely when we got obsessed with solving the
purple first.
The colors.
Yes, we had to go purple, blue, green, yellow. That was like, that's how you get an A on it in our thread.
Yeah.
And so often I'd be like, well, definitely that's the hardest.
Yeah.
And I would do it and it would be fucking green. I'm like, no way. Yeah. This purple's way easier than this green. Those are the times I've been upset. How are you delineating what's harder in your mind? I guess it's just you're arbitrarily, it's whatever you think.
Can I guess something?
Okay.
I want to guess.
Yes, please.
I feel like the purple is almost always a word play.
That's exactly what I would say.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly right.
It is. There's always like they're joined by a word that we're missing, or
a letter's missing off of a word or something. It's always wordplay. Purple's my favorite.
Purple is, but then sometimes purple isn't always that though, right? Purple's not always wordplay.
There's not always a wordplay category in the board, and sometimes. If there's like do you want to hear my like very loose rubric for like assigning colors? Okay.
Yes.
So Monica, you're exactly right with the purple. If there's like wordplay, which I guess I'm defining as like the group of 4 words, the category is not based on the meaning of those 4 words. So maybe those are all words that like, go with another word. So like the fill in the blank categories, right? Like blank, tape, right? All the words that go with tape, those words don't have anything to do with each other, but that's wordplay. Or like, the change a letter, the homophones, or, things like that. So that'll like basically always be purple. Blue is for if there's like trivia, so if it's like kind of more like know it or you don't, if it's a reference to like
movies,
maybe like
you'll
a
do like
specific movie.
Yeah, actors been in all 4 of these movies.
Exactly. That'll like be blue. And then red and green is a little bit more, maybe a little bit more ambiguous.
Yeah.
A little bit more of a toss-up.
A little more subjective, yeah.
Like it's extremely subjective. And I feel like the way I do it is if I see a word that like is pretty unambiguous in terms of its part of speech, or like it like kind of squarely, like it like identifies the category. If it's like ambiguously like a definition of something and it can't really mean other stuff, whatever that category is might be yellow. And the green one might be like a group of synonyms or something that's a little harder to see. Maybe their part of speech is more ambiguous. There's like the words have multiple meanings, stuff like that.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
But it's a very vibes based. So it's understandably kind of, I think it's subjective. Yeah.
And what is harder for you to create, connections or the crosswords? Like, are you wearing golden handcuffs with this? You got to sign this. It's like it's a hit. You've cracked it. You're known for it, and you're like, wait, though, I'd rather be doing crossword with my time.
No, I actually Connections has like this kind of like free association, like structural like freedom. Like you can kind of take liberties with like the like thinking. It's like fun to think about all the different things a category could be.
Yeah.
So there's a flexibility in it that I think is like really lovely. Whereas like crosswords are in some ways like at least grid making. It's quite formal. Like it's like hard to like make a good grid and to like not have too many crappy words and things like that. So I kind of appreciate the looseness of Connections.
Do you get a bang out of thinking of like how many people play the game? I would.
I think it's really. I mean, I think it's very cool. I feel very fortunate that like something I really love doing is something that people like playing.
Now, given the pace of how it comes out, how can you take a vacation? How are you getting time off? Can you do multiple in a day and build a little war chest as we do?
Right now, yeah. We're like about like 4 weeks ahead. So the boards that like I'll write this week will run in about a month. So there's a little bit of a buffer, but I think it's hard to get like if I'm going to be gone for a week, it's hard to get like a week ahead. So it's just I don't mind kind of working when I'm
I have an idea.
on vacation.
I have an idea for a purple based on napkin.
Okay.
Oh, great.
You got a pitch is what you got. Yeah.
Because you said napkin earlier.
Yes.
And I've been thinking that a good purple would be like napkin and then some like Fairchild, something son. Like the end of the word is family. Kin, child, son. Probably not daughter. That seems hard. But you need a fourth. If that shows up,
oh, you'll spray.